survival.
Hello and welcome once again to Wandering Monster, the America's Test Table, where I understand what's happening and what our intro is. My name is John Baldisberger.
I am Charles R. Bernard.
I'm Bridget Brave.
Ian Servas.
Mr. Paschke.
I think that it is apropos, considering the national holidays, the time of year, to talk about frogs. Let me rephrase. Let me be clear. It is apropos to talk not about frogs, but about frog. You see, in the book of Exodus, in the Torah, in the
Once we get to Deuteronomy,
the Seder, the Passover Seder, you go through the plagues, all the plagues, and boy howdy, I'm as a man with a flu right now, I can tell you a little bit about plague. Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've done this podcast with COVID, flu, cold, post-surgery. I am blessing this show with Nurgles smoochies every single week, and you guys should be thankful that it's a virtual show.
The truth is, we all actually live in Austin. We're just unwilling to be in the same room as John.
That is,
it's
really
that
is fair and
he's
good.
going to give us something.
Like living
Passover,
behind
Passover.
and off to the side. Awkward.
So going back to what the show is really about, which is esoteric Judaism. There's this great part of the Passover Seder where you name off all the plagues. You know, the plague of blood, the plague of gnats and boils of them, and the plague of frog. Now, John, isn't like it's plague of frogs? Frogs are raining down. No. The Hebrew is for a singular frog. So
Weird.
there's a midrash. There are two midrash that are about this that I love. One, of course, is that it is a massive kaiju-sized frog. Kaiju frog is biblically accurate. Now, I say this to say that I am already writing that book, so back the fuck off. The other thing, and I really, really love this. If you want to write this book, back off. I'm going to write that one too. Is that it's one regular sized frog that's just really pissy and mean. And so I want you to picture.
Can I do the
I want
voice
you to
of?
picture that.
Can I do the voice of one or either real quick? Hang on.
Only if it's Gilbert Godfrey.
It sounds a little something like this. Hello, I am here to punish the enemies of the Lord.
It's just
Love
one.
it when
Like,
you speak
imagine
Kermit voice to me, baby.
imagine you are a ruler and you're just like trying to do your thing, trying to govern, and this one guy keeps getting uppity at you. He slams down his stick, and then this one frog bounces up into the thing, and you're just like, what the fuck is this? And then he like knocks over the spears, like makes eye cock while he pisses on your rug. Just that one really terrible, no good, shitty frog. And I think all of us have someone in our lives that is a shitty frog.
Yeah.
And you know what? I come on this show to get a break from it, right? Like, I'm with my friends who, even though they avoid me because I am the plague bringer, I love you guys, and you know, y'all, none of you are terrible frogs. And I'm just so happy that I can take a break from my frog-filled life by doing this show with you guys. Ian, what are we playing tonight?
So we were playing Frogkin, the LARP, and none of you were wearing your suits, and I'm very, very disappointed. So instead,
That was
we're going to be... Yeah.
Is that like its own thing? Because they're not scalies technically. I don't know.
they're
I don't want
scalies.
to.
Different.
Well, actually, they're not
Slimies.
scalies because frogs don't have scales.
Exactly. They're like
Leatheries?
slimies. Yeah, slimies.
They're slimy warties.
I don't know. So long as they have big
I can
old
get into that,
titties, I'm
yeah.
fine.
Well, on that note, we are then instead playing a liminal horror, not to be confused with liminal space, of which we've talked about, or some of the other liminal games, because liminal is a cool word and you should add it to your vocabulary. This has been written, laid out, and designed by Goblin Archives, and is basically, if you like rules light games like Maze Rats or Cairn or Into the Outer Bastion Land, this falls into that nexus. So it's rules light horror that helps you to get into modern weird horror quickly with a pretty fast character generation system. Our pre-gens have been lovingly curated and developed by Bridget herself, so round of applause for her. Yay. Which is always a nice thing. So I'm going to just leave that with that light introduction. That way we can get into in media res. The game, like some of the other ones we've played, has a great system that encourages mutual collaboration with some of the world design and the character development, but then everything is... I really like this one little bit of information because this gets to a crux of game design, and that's not hiding investigational material behind roles. So this really relies on player skill to investigate, because a lot of these type of horror and investigation games, it can be frustrating if you know where a clue should be, but you just can't get the dice to roll. So this eliminates that. And as a caveat to really up the danger in this, hits are automatic. So combat is something you should really avoid unless you're prepared to really put your cards on the line. So just little fun tidbits. But on that note, we are going to, we're going to need someone who is brave enough to face the horrors of the unknown and the eldritch things that lurk beyond, and tell us about their character first.
Well, I'm Eldritch. In fact, my character, whose name is Riddle Thickyam, and you better believe it's a thick yam, is an ancient and decrepit 42 years old. My background is criminal. My appearance is fierce and rugged, so you can tell it is much like me in real life. And I can be intimidating at first, much like in real life. And for anyone who has ever met me in real life, I'm covered in crazy tattoos, but I'm a big old teddy bear, so... Yep, Riddle Thickyam, that's me.
All right, I'll go next. I'm Friction Adas. I'm a lawyer. I'm 56 years old. I'm along for this ride here, and I'm kind of excited about it because I always hoped that this shit was real, but I've never actually seen it for myself. So I'm excited to getting out there and meeting some of the unknown.
All right. So, I guess I'm somewhat of a drifter type of person. Alter Hook. That's what they call me. Alter. What? Did I mispronounce his name?
No.
No, I
Was
just
that
love
I-
that name.
Perfect.
All,
Yeah.
all
Did-
these names
Just-
are just
I
fucking
just-
solid gold.
Okay.
I also love
Friction,
this like
it's
contemplative. Some call
Yeah.
me a drifter.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my age, let's not talk about that. Anyhow, I'm just moving through town with my long bag that you don't need to look at.
So he's like Second Amendment David Carradine. I love this.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Hey, y'all, I'm Pitch Narcum. I'm
Another
I
great
don't
name.
I don't got a I don't got like a I-9 job. I'm more of a 1099 guy,
Mhm, mhm.
a freelancer, contractor.
Mhm.
I make ends meet in the gig economy, which let's be honest, sucks on ice, right?
Are you a
But
sex worker?
what?
Just kidding. Good.
But I am where is it? I am not the tallest dude, but I am extremely nice looking. Oh shit. I have a gravelly voice that lends me an air of mystery.
Oh, shit.
Whoops, I forgot about that. Ladies,
How much
Dude,
I-
On command.
frogs.
I'm supposed to have a deep booming voice, and I'll do it when my guy talks, but I'm not gonna do it all night because it would scare my
No,
dog and
this
my
is your
neighbors.
reality now. This is what John sounds
Look.
like from now on.
Everyone's going to talk like this the entire episode. Bridget,
John-
I hope you got it in
Yeah,
ya.
we're going.
John, do we have to swear
Alright.
to you?
What?
John, do we have to swear to you?
Swear to me. I will keep up that voice if one of you does Bane's voice.
Ah,
Don't tempt me, John Baltusberger. What if we alternate the voice?
Side note, I would kiss Tom Hardy in a heartbeat. The man's very
Yeah,
handsome.
Yeah. Yes, he is.
Wonderful. So,
John and I just look off into the distance, and then we move on from that topic.
so the lot of you have found yourself at an old, greasy diner late at night. The fluorescent lighting above you hums softly and is just loud enough to cover up the constant droning of flies and flapping wings of moths. There's no one else in this restaurant besides the lot of you and one haggard, but yet still very expedient, greasy line cook. Your city has been, well, not normal for the last couple of weeks. There are odd reportings of wild beast attacks. You have heard hushed coverage by the media about animals attacking people late at night, but then you see the bodies and they are mangled horribly. Some people say something about large frogs or very
Son of a
agitated.
Was this
those kaiju
adventure-
frogs.
Was this adventure written by Junji Ito? Because this straight up
No.
feels like 100% like one of his stories.
Well, having not read his whole works, I cannot confirm nor deny. But
I heartily recommend reading all his whole works, by the way.
Yeah. Same.
Not right now, like run the game, but
Yeah.
like
no,
no,
like
no, we'll
Ian,
wait.
give us your
No.
undivided attention.
Ian, get the book out, start reading. We're just gonna sit
I
here.
started reading Tommy. So
okay.
Cool.
This hole was made for me.
Oh, but I was also thinking
Yes.
Junji Ito because the images. I'm loving the images.
Yes, those
they're
are
very,
actually
very
public
pretty.
domain with the exception of the cover. Now, as a quick aside, at some point that will also be running Liminal Space. There is an expansion to Liminal Space that is Junji Ito expansion,
Yeah.
so it directly pulls on that.
There's
Oh,
also
cool.
one that
But-
takes place in a mall, which I really love.
Well, no, that's liminal horror.
Like just like Stephen King had a big influence on boomers and like slightly on Gen X, I think that Ito on millennials and younger has had like a big impact on horror in
Yeah.
general.
I think that's definitely true. I think he is a touchstone for the late 80s, early 90s zeitgeist of horror. And
I
I'm
mean,
very
like,
pleased with that.
if you like, you never forget the first time that you read all the way to the end of Mystery of Amahara Vault or whatever it is, the one with this hole is for me. That
Yeah.
you never forget the end of that. It's wonderful. Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
So we're at Genji's Diner.
And we've checked to
Yes,
make
that is
sure
exactly.
that
And
Junji's Diner.
what is the special that they serve at Junji's Diner?
It's actually a
deformed
St. Louis
squid.
style slinger.
I was gonna go for the teriyaki.
I was going
meatloaf.
to say escargot,
Hmm.
snail.
Well, you can put all of that in the slinger. That is the beauty of the slinger.
I don't
all
even
of-
know what a slinger is.
Oh,
the
it
name
is
is just
an
so
open-faced
evocative.
Double hamburger. Okay. And
Ah,
then you cover it
Sounds delicious.
with eggs, hash browns,
Never
bacon,
mind.
chili, and then cheese.
Chili.
Mhm.
Just what you need for breakfast, along with it's breakfast, lunch, and dinner
It's
in
the whole thing.
one.
I am on board for this. I haven't had one before, but I think
It's
I
pretty
need that in my
fantastic.
life. I'm gonna
Oh,
look
and
it
the
up.
bread is
The
mid-
menu.
Texas toast.
So
Yeah.
the escargot slinger is we've all ordered one, and we're
Mhm.
sitting at our table, and I've checked.
Are we
and
sitting at our table or are we sitting at separate tables?
at our
you are
table.
all sitting at the same at the same
And-
table because all of you. Yes.
Oh, I can confirm. I checked the table, and it is greasy.
I was just
Absolute.
thinking we should all be sitting at separate tables, like waiting for the moment to make our dramatic entrance. But we're just like all
May-
sitting awkwardly off to the side.
Maybe we pushed 4 of those little one-person tables together, and we're each alone, but pushed into a square.
They're all like 8
discussing
inches
without
apart.
saying a word, and we just did that.
So all of you have been gathering here because you've been seeing that there are homemade flyers being hung up in town talking about Attack of the Mole People. And even online on forums, you'll see on like Nextdoor and on Reddit, there are these postings about concerned citizens worried about mole people. And most people are just like downvoting it or like laughing it out. But you think maybe there's something there that maybe it's worth finding out what's going on in a clandestine meeting at a greasy diner on the edge of town where you're getting your escargot slinger definitely seems the time that you can meet with a whole assembly of concerned citizens to look into what's really going on. So it's just the 4 of you.
On the real, if I saw a flyer in Salt Lake City that was like, "The fucking mole people are after us. Meet at this address," I would make that
Yeah.
date. Like I'd be there. Yeah.
Same. Like, let's find out.
Yes, exactly. Hear them out. Okay, we're the only ones here. No flyer footer upper. That's odd.
I just want to say that I probably have seen those flyers here in Austin.
yeah. That does seem like an Austin kind of meeting, for sure. Like, so did the flyer mention anything about a reward or just concerned citizens?
It just says concerned citizens should to meet and discuss and uncover the truth of the mole people.
All right. Well, in his booming voice, Riddle Thick Yam says, "I'm very disappointed. I was here for the money."
And I just, I mean, let's go find out about the mole people, right? There's a flyer
Well,
about
we're
mole
here,
people. I'm
and
inclined
there's
to find out
no
more about
mole
mole
person presenter.
I came here for the coffee. I hear it's the best in 3 states, but what did you say about mole people?
That's
So
why you'd have
all
to
of-
have the meeting at a Denny's. Like,
Mhm.
you just pick up.
So all of you have heard or seen different rumors about some of the different attacks that are happening in town. So the first thing that's the most suspicious is that you've seen these flyers and posters and Reddit and online posts, and yet no one on the 4 of you is claiming responsibility for the flyer. But perhaps maybe you can still gather information from one another. What is one rumor that each of you have heard about what's happening in the town?
I heard a story.
We can just make up any rumor we want because I'm gonna be wildly
Yeah.
Satanic cult is what my guy's gonna proffer.
I
All right.
heard that the teens have been having sex with the mole people.
Cool.
I heard the government's super secret, top secret train that they're like digging holes across the country to move the president around, got into the mole people's cave and really upset them. So now the Secret Service is at war with them underneath the town. Did I mention it's a
Well,
secret?
I just read a book by Haruki Murakami where the plot wasn't that far from what you just described.
I gotta say, I don't think any of that. I think what you're missing the real point here. The mole people is a cover. You people expect mole people. People understand mole people. It's what their mind allows them to grasp. Now, where I'm from, what you people usually point towards bigfeet. And truth is, bigfeet are just like that. They're something that people can wrap their minds around. Aliens.
Okay. Yes. You should have combed your hair out all the way to both sides before
I
you
don't have
laid
enough
that
hair.
wrap
Wait.
on. Yeah, I could have done
Aliens.
it for you because I've got the perfect hair for it right now. But yeah,
I would,
I like
but
that. I think that covers all the bases. Underground, Secret Service, not the CIA, not the Army. Secret Service at war with the mole people.
it's the president's train. You
in the
fool.
president's train. Like I would watch the hell out of that movie tonight. Like
Yeah, I would probably own the Criterion of that one.
yeah, teens having sex and satanic cult. We've covered all the bases. Those are
Mhm.
all the things. Yeah.
Yep. We're good at this.
Yeah.
Some of
Well,
us are authors.
Some of us legitimately make our living in literature, and I'm so sorry.
I'm not. Read my stuff and suffer.
So I usually don't tell people they're going to suffer until after they've paid me the money, but I have been told by my German audience that my book should not be read by people with depression.
The Germans said this.
Mm,
The German said
that's
this
a statement all in itself. It's just,
specifically about abhorrent siren.
oh,
Yeah.
So like, okay, I get it.
Now, was it like one or two Germans, or does it qualify as the Germans?
So let me here's what I'll say. Every review I've gotten in German
Okay.
has said this.
Wow. Maybe Google Translate is fucking with you. You ever think about that?
ooh.
I never trust. what
It was
tells
also
me.
1-star review, so
Oh,
Yeah, it's definitely screwing with you then.
So while you are eating your snail burger and debating about these various esoteric concerns about the government and CIA and whatnot, you
Secret
start to
Service.
see you see as you are kind of looking out this very gross window that friction, do you see someone just like kind of cling to the shadows, put an envelope under the windshield wiper of your windshield, and then begin to slink back into the shadows? They seem to have a pretty stiff and unusual gait.
A fucking gray.
Let's
Or,
follow them.
Or a mole
Let's follow 'em.
person.
Follow them.
All
I
right.
vote we follow them.
I think we should follow him.
Yeah. Criminals like to follow people, right?
Yes,
Cool.
absolutely they do.
All right, so are all of you just getting up and leaving?
Yeah, I'm gonna stand in the back of this crowd that's going out there.
I look to
Uh,
the waitress and I signal for a doggy bag. To
Oh,
put
that's a
I
good
should
idea.
sense that you've called him a waitress, and
He
he
didn't call him
spits in your
anything. He
next.
just waved at him.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry,
Unless
darling.
unless he could read minds.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I thought you
You
said
don't
that
know
to
the
him
fictional
personally.
character that we just made up,
You haven't met him.
or
You don't know him
her,
like we do.
or them.
You don't know my fictional life. You're
I'll,
not my
I'll,
fictional dad.
I'll say this much. I am a generous-hearted criminal, I like to think. So I will pay for everybody's. Is it a sling or a slinger?
Slinger.
Okay, so everybody's slinger. I'm eating mine. I've got like runny egg yolk coming out of one side of the mouth and like runny snail out of the other. And I'm gonna go ahead and leave the wait person a $200 tip in cash money.
But my character only has
Wow.
$56.
No, I'm leaving a tip for all of us. Like, don't worry about it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I borrow $20?
Sure. I give you 20.
Okay.
Don't push it.
Well,
All right.
so you were wanting to go and chase this person, but you've had this exchange of pulling money out and asking
I'm
for
going to
money.
look at
And
the note.
Yeah, I guess we better just do the note. I guess they probably made a getaway, but let's go see if we can track them in some form or fashion.
Do I have drifter skills?
so
Yes.
you, so this is all player skills. So whatever you think is appropriate, everything is adjudicated by the three stats you have: your strength, your dexterity, and your control, which is kind of a mishmash of your social skills as well as your sanity. But most rolls or you're going to be making less rolls, and you're going to be doing more powers of observation and exploration, like an OSR style game.
I'm screwed.
All right, what's
Perhaps.
on the flyer that's under the windshield?
So if you are, as you go outside to, after you've kind of eaten some more of this and you've kind of given that person a head start, you don't see them, but you see tail lights in the distance and you hear wheels take off into the darkness, and you see them going down this highway further away from the city. The envelope that is underneath your windshield wiper friction inside has photographs. It's they look like they're of houseless individuals, and you see that there are a pair of pictures where there'll be a houseless individual who is, it's almost like a candid picture, just like a surveillance picture, and then you see there another picture of like their mangled body or strange growths sticking off of them, like large bulbous tumors or like a malformed arm that wasn't on the original picture. They have webbing between their fingers in some of the pictures, and there's not much other information other than just these pictures of houseless individuals.
See,
So,
look what did I tell you? The kids are fucking the mole people. This is
obviously,
yeah.
Okay.
this is the
Okay.
offspring.
I
I
agree that there's fucking going on. This just doesn't say mole person to me. It's obviously extraterrestrial,
Look,
could be.
not subterrestrial.
I've been on the road for a while and I've seen some things, and I gotta tell you, what a man or a woman or a mole person do together in the privacy of their home is none of my business. I respect
That's fair.
these mole hybrids live.
No one is
That's
saying
my
that we
piece.
don't respect what they're doing or that we wouldn't
I don't.
watch if we saw it happening. But
That's true. Yeah. So I am criminal, and like, do I recognize any of the locations in the background of any of these pictures? Like, I imagine as criminal, I hang out in
Mhm.
like abandoned warehouses and shit, just like the
Mhm.
criminals in old Saturday morning cartoons. Do I
Abs-
recognize? Yeah. Do I recognize
Absolutely.
any of the? Okay.
So, like, one of the places you clearly identify is a very popular drug trade hotspot. It's kind of in the center of town where you have the industrial collapse caused by white flight and other types of societal issues. It's a place where the police tend to overlook just because they don't want to invest the resources to help that population. You also see that there's other locations like warehouses. These are every place that you see in these pictures are places you have been or you have set up some type of criminal
Criminal
activity.
enterprise. Yeah.
Um,
Public
s- s-
offering or whatever.
some of these people you've recognized at some point you might have had interaction with.
Oh, bummer.
Not that you're connected to all of them, but the city's population, and these are some people that have just been nice, houseless individuals, and it's
Yeah, I'm
kind of
pissed
sad
about
that
it.
they.
Sad and pissed. All
Charles,
right.
could your
So
accent please develop into a vampire accent as we go on?
we shall see. No,
Canon,
I'm not
can't change
gonna
it.
do I'm not gonna do my shitty Russian accent all night, but unless you guys
It's
seriously want me
Hungarian.
to.
Come on, it's
Okay,
fine.
all right. So I tell my companions where all these locations are, and that obviously someone is picking off the vulnerable. I might even say like that was Brenda and that was Twinkles. And yeah, I'm actually at this point, like, I have a flip phone as well as a large amount of cash monies on my person, which, as Bridget knows, probably constitutes probable cause. And, I'm
How
going to
many
use
cell
the flip.
phones do you have?
Yeah, just one, just one.
Just one. No, no.
I'm
not
gonna use my
ideally.
flip phone to reach out to my network of criminal contacts and see if anyone has seen anything at any of these locales involving any of these people. Just make like a couple calls, and I'm going to rely on a roll for my control for that.
Not yet. I want you to tell me the name of the first person you're calling and one small factoid about them.
Yeah,
Charles has
so
obviously already used all his names since he went
No,
from
man.
Brenda to Twinkles.
I even that's not even the beginning of how many names I could come with, but I actually have one already here in my my pregen. My primary contact, who I asked to reach out on my behalf, is Stitch Idan, an explosives specialist, and like I would love to kick it with an explosives specialist in real life. Just if you're out there, just go ahead and DM me. We'll talk about hanging out. That's cool. That's all.
I just had an
Okay.
IRL jump scare.
I saw somebody lanky moving around back there. Was it
Sean
Slenderman?
brought me a cup of coffee and it
Oh,
scared the
okay.
crap out of me.
So when you give Stitch a call, he lets it ring for at least 4 times. That's because that's what Stitch always does.
Mhm.
But when he picks up, he's like, "Hey, you've been seeing the news?"
And I say, I've not been hearing the news, but I've been seeing these disturbing photographs involving people I used to know. You're welcome.
Yeah. It's been getting real weird, man. I'll tell you.
I know I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 unhoused people turned into mutants.
So you exchanged some small talk about the weird attacks that have been happening in the city, and that
Check mark
Stitch is
for-
getting.
That's 2 points for Charles Bernard.
We're driving John off the air. Love it.
I'm
Oh,
back,
no.
but it's under duress.
So after an exchange where you talk about some of the odd things that are happening, and you're kind of warming him up to kind of pump him for information, Stitch tells you about a really suspicious event that happened the other day, because you're trying to figure out what's been going on that's real weird. And he had a really large order. like sometimes when people are wanting to cause mischief or things, that's what a lot of his trade is in, or when he needs to help with doing demolitions, he kind of just some contract working for the police. But he had a anonymous buyer buy a large amount of explosives, and not just like any kind of explosive, multiple types of explosives. Cash deal was met by a very odd, I guess, intermediary who never gave their name, but their skin was, they met in like a dark alley, but their skin was kind of glassy or glossy, and they moved very stiffly. Like when they walked, there was almost a grinding sound. The other bit of information he kind of gives you is the sound of like an old van or something driving off after the person transacted the deal. The money was legit though, unmarked, non-sequential bills, various levels of currency. Some of it old, like old circulated money, but it was all legit.
Okay. I say, good job, Stitch. Give me a call. Excuse me. Good job, Stitch. Now give me a call if you see anything suspicious.
All right.
I'm gonna do that all night, John. So buckle up.
So you relay the information to the rest of your compatriots with their doggy bags full of snail burgers. What are the rest of you doing? Other information that you're wanting to get from the scene, contacts you're wanting to do, or maybe some of the planning that you want to do as a group?
I was considering stealing the tip back, but the waitress saw me. The waiter saw me and came up.
You
Or
weren't
this is
feeling
like
a smooth criminal.
this is basically like a Waffle House. If you try to take that
Yeah,
line
someone's gonna
cook's
throw a chair
money,
at
he
me,
will
yeah.
he will shank you,
You gonna get stabbed? Yeah, yeah. I've worked at a couple of those places.
right?
Yep.
I have stabbed someone for trying to take my Lycon money.
Circle
And
of
for the
life.
purposes of this
what is that
podcast, that's a
ungodly
joke.
noise? Hang on a second. What is that ungodly noise? It's like a growling
It's
or
beans.
It's
Oh,
Bean
okay.
snoring. It's so cute.
Okay, all right. I thought it sounded like
For
like
people
somebody.
who are listening to the audio recording, there is a pug being held up to the camera.
Yeah, an adorable.
I
pug.
will say that our longtime fan and friend Hot Cheeto specifically asked me to grab Bean and bring her back on air. So
Mhm.
Oh, you should. It sounded like a stomach rumbling, and I worried
if
that
it,
somebody
does.
was
look, if it sounds
hungry.
like there is a demon unleashed upon the world, it's one of my dogs.
Or my dog, arguably.
It's easy to go back to bed, you little imp.
She's usually pretty quiet about it, huh? You know.
Ma'am, no ma'am.
So, other things that you're wanting to do to gather information or plans that you would like to make as a group?
I share this information with my compatriots and say we've got a rough, like, obviously whoever planted the thing was headed away from the car. You said from the city. They were headed away from the city
Yes.
in their but regardless of wherever they were headed, like, everything is telling me that this is going to be something downtown. These locations, the fact that they bought explosives and they don't probably want to blow anything up in the boonies. I don't know. Do you guys want to go drive around downtown and see if we see a rusty van? That's what I do sometimes for fun here.
I mean, I've had worse Friday nights.
Yeah.
I feel like I know a lot about rusty vans. Life on the road. Just trailing off.
Well, don't forget that, again, this is all going to be player-facing skills, so if there are things that you feel free to explore, like what can you do? If your player can reasonably do it, then you can do it, so feel free to get creative.
Okay.
So, so you wanting to go hit downtown right now, so it's late evening.
Well, what do you other guys have to offer? What are your ideas?
I got
Do you have
nothing.
contacts that you'd like to use?
I have a contact, but I just don't know what I would do. Like, hey, what's going on, ex-girlfriend? You're in the area.
Hmm.
I mean, while we're waiting, it wouldn't be. I don't know.
Okay, so
No.
I guess I'll call since we're waiting, right?
Mhm.
All right, I'll pull up my also having a flip phone. So I'm thinking 1998. Is that the era
Cool.
that we're in? Like,
No, because I have a
Yeah.
smartphone.
Yeah, 98 was pre
You can-
smartphone. I'm pretty
I mean,
sure.
or is it-
right?
flip phones are popular now again.
they are.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So it's
With- with-
2023.
I actually have
Yep.
one.
Wow.
So
I'm behind the
Yeah.
times.
No comment.
if have you how about this to be also maybe looking at it? If are you looking at these pictures, Alter?
Yeah, I'm passing them around so everybody can see these photos.
Get a load of this.
All right.
So I was just gonna say, like, Alter, if you're wanting to look at those, you would also, as a drifter, recognize these individuals and places they might frequent. You know that some of these individuals that are in the pictures are people that have sought shelter in various areas, such as a soup kitchen that's downtown, or if they get like bad infected wounds from dirty needles, there's that like a free medical clinic that they frequently go to. Even sometimes like when like there'd be really bad weather and there wouldn't and the shelters were full, like there are some places that they would go, like an old entrance to a sewer. So there are some things that I think that you would probably uniquely know as being a drifter that could probably also be helpful for things to explore.
how many of them were junkies?
Of the
Of
four,
in-
yeah.
In the pictures, at least 3 of them.
Okay. So is that the majority or a minority on the
I think it's the majority.
It's a majority, and this is not a stereotype. Of course, it is unfortunate that the house's population tends to be targeted and preyed by people who
But
use
also,
drugs
I might
to
know a few
control.
of them.
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
True.
because lawyer.
Oh yeah, that's
I-
why. Yeah, that
Oh,
Yeah.
lawyer,
okay.
that's why. Yeah,
You defended
So-
them. All right.
Uh-huh.
You're a good person.
I'm a great.
I think maybe what we should set up here is a traps and camps tour to see if we can't make a quick like whirlwind tour of the city and see if we don't catch a snatching in progress.
Mm,
Are you splitting up or are you sticking together?
you can take my car.
Yeah, we'll take her car. I don't have a car. My character. I'm just gonna pretend.
Okay, so
I
tell me a little bit
steal
about
one when I need one.
tell me about what your plan is.
Well, my drifter friend here will help us figure out where the encampments are, so we can go from one to the other and see if we see
I
anything
will,
happening.
and I will also provide the locations of like drug hotspots since I
Mhm.
provide drugs as a valuable service to the community.
Yes. So we don't know each other at all. We've never seen each other.
Yeah, never.
All right. So my character looks at your two characters. I don't know if you all are aware of this, but a good chunk of them were all junkies.
Hmm.
Then I assess your reactions.
Hmm.
There's no
That's-
role for that.
Yeah.
Or do we have to roll for our reactions?
I don't know.
I would.
The only time you,
I would just seem jaded, probably. I mean, I'm pissed that these people are dead, but the drug trade, I'm not gonna feel guilty about or whatever.
I just raise my eyebrows slightly and say, "Oh, yeah."
so which of these locations did you want to hit first? The hotspot for drugs, or one of the more locations where people tend to shelter when there's really bad weather?
And we
What's
should
gonna
probably
be your
check out the hotspot for the drugs.
What
right?
is the weather tonight? I think you told us. I forget already, though.
So far, it's just dark. It has those drifting clouds that occasionally obscure the moonlight just a bit. A little bit of humidity. Not enough that you need a jacket, but it's pretty pleasant out.
Perfect night for drugs. Let's go hit the hotspot. In my
So you-
defense, in real life, I think that every night is a perfect night for drugs. So
Let's-
You pull up.
I was just gonna make an alternate plea to the group. You wouldn't pick up people like this from a drug deal. The drug dealer would get in the way. They pick them up from where they sleep at night.
No, that's a good point.
Right, we
All
should
right.
probably still go by the drug place.
Yeah,
right?
let's go to the drug place first. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we gotta go there.
So you pull up to one of the areas that is the epicenter of where the drug trade is. It's where an old abandoned metro line was started to be put through the city, but when the city ran out of funding, it is left at half finished. So you this have rusted girders that is hanging above you very sadly. And all of the pillars are marked with all the various drug dealers that have come and went and the various gang wars that have just kind of left this place. You see that there's definitely a lot of odd tags that look like, what, question marks, riddle? I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Riddle me this.
Yeah.
So you see that there are a couple of different people here shuffling about. Some people that are slumped over, either asleep or perhaps already dabbling into drugs. But there is a handful of people here, just kind of loitering in this area, looking restless and kind of checking over their shoulders.
Pashki, do you want to drift on up to them and see if they know anything they want to tell us about?
Yeah, I can do what I
He's
can.
now drifting as a drifter.
I drift. So I make my way over to the people. Hello. Got some questions for you.
You see a man
Ominous at all.
You see a man who has like one very pronounced cataract over his left eye kind of look at you. Like his other eye slightly looks past you, but his cataract is just glared on you. His hair is salt and pepper gray. And he goes, yeah. What?
So, been hearing some rumors around these parts. Wanted to see if I could get your opinion on. I pull out a $10 bill. So, what can I get for this?
He's like, I don't do tricks.
Well, that's not what I was. Geez. No, I didn't mean to imply that. That was, golly. Okay, let's start over. I pull out the 20 I got earlier. I would like a drug.
And
One drug, please.
he's like, I have a pack of Black and Milds. If I had them, I'd do them. The guy who sells drugs is that guy behind you.
I take my 20 back. I throw the 10 at him.
He's looking like very like uncomfortable, like cause like people are on edge, and he's just like looking around him. He's goes, fucking everyone here in this goddamn town has lost their minds.
I gotta tell you, this is the exact way every time I've ever tried to do anything illegal has gone. Every single time.
Are you coming on to me?
Excuse me, sir. I would like one drug. And yeah,
One of your finest drugs, please.
usually my voice cracks when asking, so it's not great.
I love how like every time we play a game
All
that
right,
is action oriented,
one
it's
drug.
like
Let me
kicking
bag
doors
that up
down and
for you.
like slaughtering people. I mean, it's investigative. It's like,
A drug.
hello, give me a drug. I love
Here's
this.
your drug, John, and your receipt, and you have a pleasant day.
I would.
Can I
would
pay
be
for
so
that in the
grateful
check?
if that was how it worked.
So this band is getting just very kind of this antsy, and you see him this kind of like his milky eye is looking kind of around more, and you can see his hands twitching, and he's just getting unsettled.
Are his
I l-
hands webbed?
No, they're not webbed.
I bring up to him that Mercury is currently in retrograde.
Aliens.
Was
So
that a
he-
fan
he-
request, that move?
He spits and says "fucking lunatics." Everyone in this town has just gone mad. Everyone that has just been going to that clinic has been just fucking bonkers, and this
There it
guy's here
is.
sucking mercury out of thermometers.
I want to point out that that was a gimme from Ian, who's tired of our bullshit.
yeah.
It
I was
worked,
going
though.
to say Jinky's a clue, but then I was like, yeah, Ian's throwing us a bone.
That was my plan the whole time. What are you talking about? My plan worked. I got the information.
Did you get a drug out of it?
Yeah, I know where to get the drug, and I think it's $20 worth.
Jinkies.
I would
Indeed.
like a drug. It's not even one drug. It's like it's like you don't even know which one. You're like, I would like a drug.
It's a
None
pill.
of you
Well,
have-
how do I smoke this pill?
Yeah.
None of you have watched the first 48 hours, and it shows.
No, I honestly never have. I would make a terrible detective because I I wanted people to get away with crime. That's why I'm role playing a criminal. All right. Well, no webbed feet. Okay, clinic. Which clinic? I ask him, and I might even give him a drug to prompt his
One drug.
memory.
So he's like shuffling away after having this weird experience. If you want to stop him, you can certainly stop him because he's like your wackadoo friend here is just like disgusted him utterly. But if you want to catch up with him and just like one-on-one, give him a drug.
Yep. And
So
and
at
I
first he
say,
recalls
hey,
and he's just
hey, sorry about my
first-
friend. You know,
at
"Oh,
first he
sorry
doesn't.
about my friend.
At first is he thinks that you're Ulcer coming up and he's like, look, man, I don't turn tricks, and then he sees and goes, all right, Riddle,
Yeah,
I'd like a drug,
yeah.
please.
Here, this one's on the house. Just tell me what clinic you're talking about that's driving people bonkers.
Well, it's the free clinic. It's Dr. Shelley's clinic. We've all been going there for, all of our, like infected needles to, that one time where Jerry fell down the stairs and broke his ankle real bad. That place has been
Fucking
patching us
Jerry.
up for free
Yeah.
for years, but now it just seems like, I don't know, something fucking weird has been going on there. People that go there just either don't come back or they come back and they're just wrong. They're mean. They're fucked up. I don't know if it's something about drugs or what, but shit. I saw last week. I saw Gerald like ripped out Jerry's throat. Like those two were like fake twins because they kind of like name brothers or not. But yeah, shit's real fucked up out here.
Okay. All
I
right.
wouldn't go there, man.
Dr. Shelley's free clinic it is. I don't say that to my drug loving friend, but yeah. I report back to the others. You guys want to go check that free clinic out?
Yeah.
You got it. I bet it's a front for alien penetration. There's another word I'm looking for. I don't know what it is though. When they put stuff inside your
Probing?
body. It's like that, but it's more fun.
Implantation or impregnation, maybe.
There's the one. Alien impregnation.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're gonna go sleep with an alien and get her pregnant.
Yes.
I mean,
Is
all the
that
kids are
If
sure.
we're lucky.
Yeah, all the kids are doing it, and
Yeah.
it probably has something to do with the devil. Yeah. We'll go check out. So we hop in the Hyundai and we skirt out of there, and
I'm gonna
I
fight
think
you,
it's free
Charles. I'm gonna. Come in.
I'm just gonna keep poking John while he's at his weakest. It's the best time to poke.
Quickly, while he's
I will not
vulnerable.
always be weak.
Everyone.
Yes, yeah. Get in on this while he's vulnerable.
So you know generally where this clinic is. So you could specifically look up like Yelp or Google if you want, but you know that this clinic is kind of just this very nondescript public health clinic that's just kind of in an old, sad, quasi-abandoned strip mall, operating on a shoestring budget because it's helping the less fortunate. If it wasn't really for like a green cross painted on the outside of it, you'd probably just miss it for some type of beans. Is really ripping ass. It's hilarious.
I want to before you point out, I would like to point out that we have 3 comments in chat saying how lovely it is and how wonderful.
Yeah,
I'm
one of them
enjoying
is
it.
Bridget.
I wasn't gonna mention it. So that means 3 out of 5 cast members are enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it too.
That's why I
Hey,
said
so-
3.
yeah.
We make the
Uh,
show for us, right?
We
I mean,
do.
So-
primarily.
Yeah. That's a green
And for Flaming
cross.
Hot Cheeto. What?
Green cross on the side of the building.
Green cross on the side of the building, and
That means
no
a
one really
dispensary.
I was to say, it looks suspiciously almost like you would think it'd be like a vape store.
Yeah.
Like a vape store, Riddle, you would notice it probably before everyone else. There are a lot of cameras on the outside of the building. They're kind
I
of
would notice
recessed
that.
in, or some of them are obvious, but there's a disproportionate amount of cameras around this building.
All right, let's look at what everybody's got in their inventory. Does anybody
You can see that
have
the lights are off inside, if it matters too.
all the more important? Does anybody have spray paint?
No, I do not.
All right, I've got a
I
pen, but
I have a flashbang that's kind of like spray paint.
that would work. Like, it's probably going to do enough to all of them actually to let us get in there relatively quickly. I've got bolt cutters, so we're getting in probably without too much trouble.
Mhm.
I've got some tranquilizers we could give to ourselves.
Us.
And I've got some poison we can give to ourselves if the tranquilizers don't work.
And
I
I have
have-
a notepad.
Okay.
I do have acid, which I can throw in Charles's face if he keeps counting. That's all I got.
How many more times of him counting would it take?
Considering I would have to board a plane and fly, probably a bunch. If I'm honest,
would it
I'm going to
say
be truthful here.
1, 2, 3 times?
Buy the tickets.
I'll
That
see the
is
screen, John.
that is your third point, Mr. Bernard. 3 points.
So, so leaving John's acid out of it. Um, let's try employing the flashbang and the bolt cutters to get inside the building and snoop around. It being closed
I got
is
some
all
vampire
the better
dust if
for
anyone needs to
snooping.
pick me up.
Vampire dust?
Yeah.
What is vampire? Is that a street drug?
It's
or-
like angel dust, but more blah.
Well, angel dust is wildly inappropriately named, so I'm imagining that vampire dust is going to be
It's
one hell of a drug.
Angel dust and crocodile had a baby.
So
Do you
we won't have any faces left by the time we're done,
Yeah.
and neither will our foes. Yeah.
All right, so we need to get
Alright.
into the dispensary. Does anyone have a contact that owns the dispensary, or is like the night manager, or like a cashier?
See, that's what's
It's not a
suspicious.
dispensary. This is a
Yeah.
medical clinic that helps the
Is it a methadone
houseless.
clinic?
Yeah. Are you kidding me? The guy in the $3,000 suit knows somebody who owns a methadone clinic?
Are you kidding? The guy in the $40,000 suit, Michael. Yeah, no, this isn't a dispensary because I know all those guys and gals, and this Dr. Shelley ain't on the list. This Dr. Shelley's stepping on my turf.
So I've heard a couple different plans of perhaps using a flashbang and bolt cutters. Is that the plan that you were? All
I
right.
believe that's the plan.
Okay. So you set off a flashbang late at night in the middle of a quasi-deserted part of town.
Mhm.
Hey, man,
You.
no big deal.
So the first thing, I want someone to roll me a d6.
Okay, since we're lighting off my flashbang, 5.
Okay. Great. So,
5. Ah.
so you flashbang goes off,
Is
and
that a bonus point?
He's still on screen. That does not count as a point.
I need to really work on the Jim Halpert, like whatever you. So you use your bolt cutters and you just tin can your way through the front door. You hope
Yeah.
that you've got enough time with the flashbang to get in, and you don't hear any alarms go off when you first enter into this clinic.
Also
The first
suspicious.
thing. Mhm.
Or we let
So
off a
the
flashbang. We can't hear shit.
So,
So the alarm is going off. We just can't hear it.
so the first
I
thing
love
you
that
notice is
idea. These two criminals trying to break in and they set off a flashbang and like can't hear the alarm. That's a good gag. Oh,
So the first thing you notice is an eggshell white waiting room with mint green vinyl chairs and, of course, a deserted reception desk. It looks like it's been cleaned for the night. There's no stacks of papers, probably respecting HIPAA regulations and such. There are doors that go into the back areas. And the thing you really notice is that there's a pretty strong antiseptic smell to this place. More than just what you would use to clean it. It's almost cloyingly strong.
Hmm.
you guys want to split up and case this joint? See, that's criminal speak. I'm a criminal.
I don't know, man. This place smells like when that raccoon got trapped in the crawl space.
I might want to take a nap. This is the cleanest place I've been in quite some time.
So you see that there is a door that leads into a back area. Is someone wanting to take point?
I will. I will, because I'm a bit of a tank, so I'll take point.
All right. So when you open into this door to the back, you see it branches off into several smaller, like clinic rooms. But when you're looking at them, a lot of them look to have a layer of dust, or they just haven't been used in a long time. You see that all these doors are labeled like Clinic Room 1, Clinic Room 2, and then there's a janitorial supply closet. Other than that, you don't see anything immediately that catches your eye. It's kind of unusual in of itself.
Now let's have a look at one of these clinic rooms.
So when you kind of rifle through, you see that all the supplies are expired and expired for a long time. They're various, like they're not even the same supply brands between rooms, as if they've worked with just maybe donated or just old supplies, but they've been expired for the freshest stuff has been expired for at least a year.
So this is what we in the criminal industry call a front or something.
Okay.
All right.
So
Who's
we
next?
do we poke
No.
around?
There's another room to check out. Another clinic room, and then the janitor's closet.
Oh, I say janitor's closet. You never know what's in the janitor's closet. I mean,
Pashke, true to form, feels the call of the janitor closet. So I think we ought to follow that. What do you guys think?
Yeah, you guys go ahead. I'll bring up the rear.
All right.
What you doing, Alter?
go.
Having the flu.
No, Alter is Pashke.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
I thought we stopped us going to the
We
janitor's
did.
closet.
Yeah.
Oh, so I was just asking. All right, so you open the door. There's nothing inside the janitor's closet, but there's a very strong scent of antiseptic cleaning that just permeates this room. Like it seems like it's you don't see anything spilled. It's impressively strong in here. all you all you see is just like an empty shelf.
Seems like they just cleaned a lot, as if they were trying to cover up their mess.
Yeah. Good wordplay, Pashki. A plus.
Mhm.
That's 1
Yeah.
point for you. That's 1 point for you.
Aw, thanks. I get a point.
You're welcome. Yeah, let's go check out that other clinic room.
So, as you are, make me a d6, another d6, if you will, Alter.
Okay.
Or, yeah.
4.
Oh. Okay. So, as you are getting ready to like close the door on this room, you feel like a small current of air coming from, is somewhere inside this room. Like it's almost like coming from the wall.
Hmm.
Everyone, there's current of air come through the wall. If I know anything about currents of air and walls, that means that this might not, in fact, be a real wall. Does anyone
Yeah, I
have
would-
an explosive?
I mean, that checks out. That really does check out.
I don't have explosives, but I would like to /check the wall, please.
Oh, yeah, well, I guess just blowing it up's not what we want to do here today.
So as you begin
I
to,
have an explosive.
Cool. Save it for now.
Or use it.
Or use it.
I'm not going to use it.
Okay.
Ah, come on. Just
It's not the sort of explosive that you can control.
is it your diarrhea?
Really?
Character asking, not me. I
You know it's diarrhea.
So you push around on the wall and you hear a click, and the door begins to swing inward, revealing a staircase that are lit by little lumens by the stairs downward. That's sent to the antiseptic cleanser, and something decaying comes up from the stairwell.
Nice. Do any of us have lights, flashlights, or anything?
I've got a smartphone.
I
It's
have a
got
phone.
flashlight on it.
Yeah, I've got a flip phone, and those had lights, so I guess we're good. Yeah.
does
Yeah,
my
definitely.
does my sniper rifle have a spotlight on it?
It might have night vision.
Be a lot cooler if it did.
Hmm
So
Oboe with a sniper rifle.
yeah, that's my character. I have a sniper rifle. I didn't bring it
I
up
know,
until
just
now
didn't.
because I didn't want to like brag about it. I didn't want to go, oh,
Mhm.
look at me. I'm the character with the sniper rifle.
It's
Nah, 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 nah.
it's not hobo with a shotgun. It's drifter with a sniper rifle. They're
Mhm.
Okay.
totally different things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Close.
not the same property at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what is your course of action?
I am going to turn on the light on my flip phone and start exploring the dank, grave-smelling staircase, just like I would in real life.
I'm gonna put
All
on my
right.
gas mask and follow. Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
lucky!
I don't got
So
gas
you-
mask, but I'm going to go too.
I'm gonna
You
put my lucky
descend-
banana over my mouth.
You descend down the staircase, and the door at the bottom is oddly reinforced for a clinic door. You can see that there are large rivets and welding bars across it, and it opens into what appears to be like a sterile operating theater. In the center of this room, surrounded by like large lit lamps that are kind of even blazing even late into the night, and trays of dazzling surgical instruments, is a partially dissected half man, half frog, as if you had merged the two, like the person itself is becoming frog like. Their hands and feet are webbed, there are large bulbous growths on them, the throat has become swollen and distended, and there is a incision that runs from the tip of the frog like chin all the way down his chest. Inside you see terrible well, what looks to be almost like frog egg or frog. You get these flashbacks of high school biology. So all of you take, I'm going to go ahead and roll for it. 2 points of stress. If you have a object that is able to soak that, such as something that has the stability feature, otherwise it is subtracted from your HP.
Hang on a second. I don't think that I've got anything like that.
A curtain is dividing this room in half. My camera is being fuzzy.
Well, let's. Who wants to go show us what we've won?
I mean, I nominate Drifter.
Well, being me to act cowardice in front of a new group of people that I just met today, but I just gotta tell y'all, I don't want to touch it. It's slimy and green. And I thought moles, not frogs, moles. That ain't a human. And
My dog is growling at that voice from the headphones. I don't even have like a feedback speaker that was loud enough that she could hear it.
I'm sorry.
You
for that.
knocked Ian off air and destroyed his camera with that voice.
My camera just got fuzzy when I sat up in my chair, and it's like it just does not want to focus on my face. So, just like, oh, that's bizarre. Fancy camera wanting to do.
Is this one of those found footage horror movies?
Now it
him.
is.
It is
It was
now.
that guy.
It wasn't
that
until
guy.
this moment.
Mwah. It was
We'll
that
just
guy.
have to see what is. Well, all right. We'll just deal with it as it comes. All right. So you said that you are revealing back the curtain.
I'll do it. Yeah. If my drifter friend is feeling a mite afeared, I will definitely show everybody what we've won.
Okay. So as you, there we go. Just how to refresh the stream. There we go. So as you pull back the curtain, you can see that behind it there are large tubes with various stages of frog monster. There are humans that it looks like they have been morphing into progressively more and more frog-like.
So it's
And
like
there are-
that evolving man graphic, but like from human to like human frog hybrid.
Kind of bobbing in murky solution. And there
Cool.
are more gurneys that have heavy restraints. There are power tools like chainsaws and heavy saws, hammers, and there
Hell
are
yeah.
doors that from here there are a series of doors on the east, the west, and the south walls. From here you hear sounds of movement, like heavy, very, let's say, thick footfalls to the south from here. The door to your west is covered over in frost and is metallic with a big latch, and just a normal kind of wooden door to the east.
So the first
as
thing
you-
I do is snap
You're also
some
going to
pictures.
take. I'm sorry.
I
was
snapped
gonna
some
say-
pictures of the corpse and the thingamajigs with the camera phone from the flip phone.
As you're looking closely at all these terrible things, you also receive another point of stress, which, if you don't have something to soak that, it goes to your HP, but that is recovered very quickly. You're getting this impending sense of trepidation and doom. And the more you look at this webbed hands, you feel your hands kind of tingling and itching auspiciously.
This all proves something I've known my entire life. Amphibians are not of this world, my friends. I always knew it. Who built the pyramids? One terrible frog.
I can't believe it's come to this. I'm finally
What
becoming
an
my mother.
industrious frog.
One terrible, industrious frog.
I
Hang
All
on
right.
a second.
So So you retain the pictures in your phone, so you have evidence of things that are going on. Remember when you set that flashbang off
Oh,
earlier?
yes, I remember it.
Yeah, the best CD we ever had.
Hmm.
You hear footsteps up on the first floor of this place. It sounds like they're going from room to room.
Well, I don't think we left any evidence up there, but there's still inevitably. I think we have kind of a pincher movement going on now, right?
Like, I thought you all moved downstairs.
Oh, we did. I mean, you said that there are heavy footfalls coming from the south, and that now there are people up on the first floor. So we're stuck between heavy-footed rock and search party hard place.
Mm. Search Party Hard Place was one of my favorite albums.
Mm.
So again, you have a metallic door that's covered in hoarfrost. You have a wooden door to the east, and then to the south from here, you have a reinforced door.
I don't think we should go south because there's some heavy footfalls coming from that direction.
I say we go for it.
South?
Yeah. Heavy footfalls. Do you guys want to get into combat? We've got a limited but still pretty good amount of time.
Yeah.
I mean,
show
Bridget,
off-
yes,
we could-
wants to get into combat.
We could show
Friction
off some
does not
combat
want to get into
dynamics, or
combat.
we could run for it. I don't know. Up to
I
you.
think we should get into combat.
Okay, composure. I'm gonna kill the end frogman. Load sniper rifle. I have an advantage if I'm hidden. I believe I'll shoot better.
I don't even know if that's an excuse, but I'm willing to accept it.
So yeah, I'm ready to fight. I've got my gun ready.
All right. So who's opening the door?
Guy with the gun would be my vote.
The guy with the gun is going to be the first person to point the gun through the door, so I should not open the door. I should be ready to shoot anything coming through it.
Correct.
I am the other guy with guns, so I will throw the door open.
So when you open up the door, you see this is a wide hallway, and it's lined on both sides with plexiglass. It looks like two very large holding pins. The holding pin that is on the west wall contains two of these frog. But the only best thing you could really say is frog monstrosities. They are in squats with large bulbous eyes, and they've almost shed all of their humanity. They, when they see you, they begin to throw themselves as hard as they can on the glass, leaving like slimy belly prints and webbed handprints as they just begin to throw themselves and croak loudly. Their croaking disturbs, or at least makes things stir in the pin across from them. You see that there are two humans that are very sluggish, like they're slumped on the floor trying to get themselves up. At the far end of this room, this hallway kind of room between two holding pins, there is a door that looks old and like almost like made of bronze or brass that is has a lot of corrosion on it.
Well, I'm not opening.
I think the sluggish
Is that-
people are probably already doomed because they've
Yeah.
been dosed with whatever is causing the transformation.
Can't we just close the door again?
I
Nope.
as you kind of are entering into the space, or if you were looking at this, roll me D4.
Alrighty. The one that you
That
don't
is the
want to
s-
step on.
That is the stress that you're going to be taking from
Oh
this,
shit.
as you are coming face to face with a thing that should not be. at any point your control or if your HP is low enough that it hits 0, let me know because the carryover then attacks your control.
So did we all just take the mental damage then?
Yeah,
Correct.
I've got basically I'm in the negative now with HP. So
Yeah.
I've got 1 HP left.
You
I'm
say you've got
dead.
negative HP.
I had 1 HP
So-
until that, and now I'm in negative 2.
Okay, so that then hits your control, so it is deducted from that. And then after that happens, that's going to temporarily lower your score. Once you have an opportunity to rest, you can bring that back up as long as you have some creature comforts to take care of you. But those who are now at 0 HP and are taking control damage, I need you to then make me a control check. So that's D20, and you're trying to get your control or under. You fail, you take critical stress.
I have critical stress.
I also have critical stress.
Fantastic. That is exactly what I am glad to hear. So I need both of you to roll me a D10.
I got a 10.
I got a 1.
I got a rock.
Aw.
Okay. All right. No. All right. So, wait, who rolled the 1?
I did.
Okay. So you start having some very uncomfortable doubts about everything. It's not enough right now that it's making you stop, but it's a burning paranoia that is building up within you. It's like your stomach is kind of falling out from it, and you feel like sooner or later you just might develop a panic attack, but you're holding it off for now.
Yeah, but Ian, we're playing a game, okay? What's my character doing?
Nothing yet. Now, Friction, you rolled a 10. Oh, wonderful. As you are passing through this area, you notice that the skin between your hand is becoming webbed. And you're...
I kind of fail to see how that's a disadvantage in real life. That's just a me thing, though. Let's move on.
Out of curiosity, Friction, how you are beginning to manifest some of these frog-like symptoms. What is some other thing besides the webbed hand that you're noticing that's happening to your body?
I am craving flies, like just and mealworms somehow. That's a new one.
And you can tell these other frog creatures, they're just starving as well. Like you feel the shared hunger, and you can't tell if that reviles you or gives you a feeling of belonging. Did anybody else fail?
Nope,
Okay,
I got
critical
1
stress.
HP
Alright.
left.
Okay, so you notice, so you're hearing those footfalls are coming down the stairs towards the operating theater. These frog creatures are throwing themselves really hard against this plexiglass, and you're starting to see some hairline fractures. The humans that are on the floor are still slumped over, trying to plod themselves, claw up the wall a little bit, but they're just moaning. And you have a door to the south from here.
The bronze one, right?
Yeah.
I'm curious about that because it sounds older than the clinic. If it's tarnished bronze.
So it's a salvage from a barn or something where people thought it would look really good in here, or they built a clinic
it's
around
cool.
it.
Yeah, it's totally cool. You guys want to double back and run like hell, or do you want to go through the bronze door?
Let's go through the bronze door.
Yeah, Bronze door.
All right. In for a penny. I'll open the bronze door.
Open the
Okay.
And
bronze
if
door.
it's openable, and if not, then I'm going to give it 1, 2, 3 tries.
Give me a strength check. So that's D20, equal or less.
Okay. E20 equal or less. Let's see. I believe that I failed that. That's a 17, and my strength is only a 10. So yeah, that's a
Okay.
fail.
So you're trying to move, you're trying to just throw this door open, and it's squealing loudly. You hear the footfalls that are coming down the stairs are saying, I heard a sound. It's coming from over there. Let's check it out. And you hear like the click of a shoulder radio saying, we might need additional officers en route.
Cheese it. It's the fuzz.
I
We should
cheese
hide.
it.
Or any of you else wanting to... What are the rest of you wanting to do?
I mean, all of my weaponry is like close combat, so I can either run or stand my ground. There's
Yeah, mine's ranged weapon, so I would like to be further away.
So, am I hearing that you're wanting to hide, or that you're wanting to try opening that door more, or like reinforce? Like, what are you? Give me an action.
I had my gun on the ready. Fuck it, let's go deeper.
Yeah.
It's either surrender or go deeper.
Yeah, let's go deeper. Like, in my experience as a criminal on the game, you don't really win a shootout with the cops.
I mean, if I could get on the roof, then I might be able to.
For a
Pitch
while.
anything you're wanting to do?
No, door.
Okay. So, all right. So you gonna give it a shot then, Alter? You want to make a strength check?
Sure. Strength check. So roll D20. Try to
Equal or
get under.
Mhm.
And I did the thing. So am I doing minus to this, or is it just a straight roll for me?
That's a straight roll.
Meets it beats, right? Is that how it works here?
Meets or under?
11 is 11. I meet it.
Is that a pass?
I rolled the same number that is on my sheet.
Okay. Fantastic. So, with a squeal and a groan, you throw the door open, and the first thing is that there's this blast of fetid air, and it just smells just like a sewer. You see that it is dark down below here, but in the distance there's some flickering light that seems to give you just enough illumination to see some old runged stairs going down into a tunnel. You hear the sound of running water.
Temple of the Frog, you guys. You want to go spelunking?
yeah. Let's go on a blaze of glory.
Yeah.
The cops get into the operating room and they just like start gagging and heaving as they see the frog body that's just been splayed on the gurney. And you hear another person saying like, "What the fuck has happened here?" One of the cops starts getting really nervous and hear him rack his shotgun. So all of you going down into the tunnel?
I believe so.
Well, I mean, gee, a nervous cop is sure a safe cop. So yeah, we're gonna go into the tunnel.
Yeah.
We have a viewer request to begin the cannibalism. I think that might be pointed at you, John. All right. So who's taking?
What's happening?
I'm going to roll to commence to cannibalism.
Wait, what?
Okay. This is escalating quickly.
Real quickly.
All right. So who's taking point?
I guess I am. I've got my taser and my axe. I'm wearing my gas mask. I'm at least hoping I'm intimidating, if nothing else.
All right. So you descend down into the sewers. They're, of course, dark and wet, and there's that flickering light that at first you don't see any type of lights. It's just something that's kind of reflecting down this corridor. As you follow it, you feel just this sense of almost like being watched. The walls almost seem like they're closing in on you. There are, well, squishy and unpleasant things with every footfall or every step that you take through these tunnels. And you are beginning to hear like sounds, like it's the water is beginning to rush hard, like heavier, and so it's hard exactly to make it out, but it almost sounds like faint voices. You get
There's
to
no wet
a
squelching.
oh, it, well, when you look down at your feet, you're just glad you don't have enough light to see what's clinging to the underside of your shoe. This is definitely a bad day for heels for anyone that is wearing heels.
Damn these heels.
It is.
We're all wearing heels.
It is very moist down here, definitely. So you're at a T of an intersection here where you see this tunnel extending, almost kind of meandering into the darkness. It's where the water is flowing, it's like flowing from that direction. And you hear from the tunnel as extending from the other side of this T is where you're seeing more of that light reflecting. And that's where you think that you're hearing a little bit more of sounds of people.
Do they
I
sound like
mean, yeah, go ahead.
do they sound like normal people, or do they sound like froggy? Do they have an accent? Are they too far away for me to even make it out, or is it just like brr, 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 brr?
It's just enough where you're hearing the sounds of something indistinguishable as voice, because you're hearing a lot of running, sloshing water sound. It's very echoey in here, and it's indistinct. But you definitely know that there are people down that side of the corridor.
That should
Those
make it
people
easy to
definitely
sneak
do
up
sound
on them.
moist.
Yeah, proceed with caution.
Yeah.
Guns at the
Keep
ready.
quietly, yeah. Guns at the ready. Agreed.
And my axe.
And my axe.
And my taser.
My
My
taser.
small glass vial of acid for some reason.
Yes.
So this section of the sewer begins to narrow just a bit, and so it almost just feels like a side passage. It begins to curve, and as you take this curve, the light reflects more and more. The squelching in your footsteps gets even thicker as you transition into almost like a muddy-like paste, or at least you really hope that it's mud. You see that this opens into a round circular chamber that is illuminated with flickering candles. The candles are positioned in the way that when the breeze flickers, all the little flame points align and make strange, weird sigils on the wall, and it begins to make an odd crackling sound. In the center of this chamber is a large altar that is made from small to large frogs that are twisted and gnarled together to make this slab. And you see that all the eyes of the frogs are blinking and their throats are still puffing. All the frogs in the altar are alive.
Poor bastards.
In front of the altar is a figure that is kneeling wearing robes. And next, flanking this large robed figure, are two of these frog-like creatures that you saw like above, also wearing malformed robes that are barely covering it. So I will say that you have had long enough time in the sewer, this walking in this direction, that your HP is recovered. If you want to take more time, you can recover your control, but otherwise your HP is back. Entering into this space, you are feeling reality thin just a bit. Every time that those candles flicker and create these weird symbols that make your brain itch and swell, you're taking sanity damage by being exposed to this space. So this will be another D4 stress.
gained some HP
Ooh.
this time. Okay.
So I'm out of HP again.
Hi
Did
guys.
you?
I'm
Are you
not AP
at
again.
0 or did it go past that?
So I have 3 hit points, and I rolled a 4.
How are your HP so low?
You know, it is what it is. It's too late now. It's the second time I'm trying to
Alright.
do negative. We're committed.
All right. That is
Listen,
fantastic.
don't ask
Okay.
questions you don't want the answers to.
Yeah.
All right. So you take another point of control damage, and then I need you to make a control check. So again, that's D20, control equal or less.
That's net 20.
Nat 20. So the robed figure stands and turns. And this figure is a terribly malformed frog person. You see that not only is it a frog person, it looks like another frog is coming out of it. He has like a third, like a fourth, or I guess fifth froggy limb coming out of his chest, and he has
Cool.
extra frog-like eyes. He has 2 sacks that inflate separately, and he points out his webbed, gnarled hand, while the other one has a symbol inscribed on it. And he says, "You are the one that has been called to us." And when you look at how his hand has a glowing sigil on it, you see that that symbol is glowing in the center of Alter's forehead. You are the chosen one. Take your place on the altar.
Can I?
And
shoot him?
the other frogs turn and begin to hum and croak ominously as their throat sacs pulse in time.
A group of frogs is called a choir.
Aw.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. I
It's
like
very
that.
beautiful and very cute. I know this is ominous and crazy and terrible, but frogs are gosh darn cute.
I love
And I would
frogs.
love to hear a bunch of human-sized frogs croaking in unison.
Yeah,
So I bet it
man.
would thromble in just like the most gorgeous way.
As long as the human was taken out of the equation, as long as they were just frogs that size, yeah.
No, I'm
that-
good.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
pretty sure
good
that's
with
a
what's
qualifying
happening.
event for my student loans. So
Um, Ooh, I should have done that earlier, but we'll do that later. All right. So you said that you might want to shoot,
Yeah.
or are you wanting to take your place since you are, as they say, you're a chosen one. I mean, that's up to you. You can turn that down.
I was chosen once. Called her my wife, and she left me. I can't trust no frog people to stay with me. I don't have the required equipment, and quite frankly, they freak me out. And that's when I start firing.
Okay.
Oh, no.
So, as you pull up your weapon, so the first thing we need to do is we're going to do initiative slightly differently in this because hits are automatic. So everyone who wants to engage in combat right now needs to make a dex save. If you pass your dex save, then you move before the enemy does.
okay.
And Dex is D20.
Mhm.
Yes, that's correct.
I fail big time.
Me too.
I failed by 2.
What about you, Pitch?
Sorry, what do I roll? What am I
D20.
testing?
D20 for dex, equal or less.
Yeah, Dex truck.
So
Here comes the bargain.
well, let me suggest something. Let me suggest
Baltic
something.
bargain.
Let me suggest I roll. Yeah, I will roll the die. Oh, look at that, a 1 on my D8
Why would you roll a
No.
D8?
because it's
No.
less than 9 and my stat is 9. Ian,
I like
I feel
this
like that's
plan.
I feel like that's obvious.
Yeah, that seems way smarter.
Let me
What's-
get my
what's wrong with-
D17.
So,
Maybe what we need is stakes. Maybe if he loses the Baltusberger bargain
yeah,
of the
there needs to
evening,
be a.
it's a critical fail.
Now, Charles, I want to remind you that when I was running my game, I stuck with the Baldisberger bargains
Yes, you
for
did.
you. Like I am not a cruel Baltusberger.
No,
I
no.
giveth and I continue to giveth.
Yes, it's true. It's true. He's a
What I'm
generous
saying is
man.
worship me. I rolled an
So-
11, which is 2 over.
All right. So the priest, as you pull your weapon up the fire, has this look of both disappointment but also chagrin. Like, and it's one of his third eye just kind of just like blinks at this very strange rhythm, like
Can you do
he's
the
kind of
facial
almost
expression for
splitting
us?
at once. I can't. It's like a Blinky, the fish from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay.
And you could see that, like, as this is happening, like more of his face is almost splitting, and you're starting to see another gnarled limb kind of just protruding out from underneath his skin, and you see that his new little hand is beginning to carve runes into his flesh, and they grow purple. It seems to almost slow time a bit, and he seems to move faster than all of you. And he walks closer to you, Alter. Every step is almost there's the soundtrack that is playing from his two frog acolytes that are humming and croaking these strange frog paeans as he advances. And he just puts a webbed hand on your sniper rifle and just lowers it and looks you right in the eyes. Roll me a control save.
And I might
Alter.
convert to the Kermit's Witnesses.
Yeah, I was
This
going
is
to say,
pretty
you're
cool.
not making this sound less cool.
Yeah. And that is how frogs reproduce in the wild, right? You know, splitting in half. forming sigils.
Parthenogenesis.
Yeah.
So remember how last week I couldn't roll anything above like a 4?
Yeah.
I do. It was
Yeah.
hilarious.
I'm on fire tonight.
What did you roll?
I rolled an 18, so I
It's
felt that.
unfortunate.
Great.
It's unfortunate that tonight's an Adirondack night. Huh?
You
Yeah.
are beginning to feel this strong, unearthly sense of belonging that you've never had, and it's tearing at you. You're beginning to feel that panic attack also well up in you at the same time, and you're feeling this dread of, what if this is what I was really meant for? Maybe
You
I
never,
should put my gun down.
you
Bro's
never
feeling
forget your
froggy.
first death cult. It's like falling in love.
You find yourself beyond your own control, putting the gun down on the floor. And the frog priestess looks at you and just croaks from one sack, good, and from the other one, good. And again, just leads you to the altar. Like you're feeling yourself fighting it, but also wanting it at the same time. The other two frog acolytes, since all of you failed your initiative, also take their turn. One just serenely, while not even stopping its humming and croaking, just goes up and picks up the sniper rifle and just begins to very slowly and methodically take it apart and just lay it in pieces on the floor. The other one stands up and approaches you, Friction, and he holds out a thin box full of flies and just looks at you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
His other hand is in his pocket, but this one hand has a chest of flies extended.
I would have made it
All
a
right.
jar of flies. Come on, man.
So I'm going to do round robin from there. And so we'll top the initiative is going to be, it's going to be Pitch, followed by Riddle, then it's Friction, and then Alter.
So I have a question.
Yes.
I have a toy. You're in my character sheet right now? I'm highlighting my
Yes.
toy.
That does not sound right. Okay.
I don't have a way to actually like get that going.
Yes, you do. There are candles all over this place.
Thank you. Okay, lovely.
Oh,
Um,
God.
What about scented
and,
oils? A shot, a
I-
Sade CD, perhaps?
Hey, I told you that the guy said I had to get 25 out.
That's right.
I reach back with something in my hand, kind of going to get near a candle. It's not my. I don't know about y'all. I am not that stretchy. At least not when. Okay. And once it lights, I'm going to lob my
Can
my
you show me that
Molotov
lob motion
cocktail.
in slow motion? That lob
Mhm.
motion again? In
So,
slow motion. There
so
we go.
This,
And again.
This is a. So this is an interesting scenario because you have a blast radius weapon that you're using in a small underground chamber.
There is no iron team, but there are several in. Fuck it, I cast fireball.
I love
All
it.
right. So wonderful. This is a yes and moment, as yes and roll for damage.
How dead are we?
So, this causes damage ongoing until it gets put out.
Yeah.
I assume on everyone it splashes.
Yes,
and I rolled a
everyone in this
4.
room.
I'm fucked. Okay, yep.
All right. So everyone takes 4 points of damage. This
dead.
is physical. So if you have armor,
I'm not quite
to
dead.
do it from armor. Anything that's over from that gets taken away from your strength. If that's happened and you've taken damage to your strength, let me know, and you need to roll a strength save as you are taking critical damage.
So what happens hypothetically if you're at 0?
So that means
Then
you're
it all
taking
goes
that.
from strength, baby.
Correct. So all goes from strength. It's when your strength becomes 0 that you die.
Okay.
All right. So who's okay? So go ahead and make your strength saves if you're taking strength damage.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I actually passed.
Okay.
I've got 1
Anyone-
HP. I've got armor
Okay.
to soak 1 point.
So this chamber is on fire. The frogs go from mirthful, playful pans of worship to tortured screeching, and this room is just absolutely resonating with the sound of screams. The candles that are now melting in wax, the wax melts together into a terrible sigil that churns purple and glows with purple flames sprouting out of it as well. And it is beginning to trickle across the room, making fractal-like runes that burn your eyes just as much as the fire that are burning your eyes in this room. So from here, every round that you stay, you're going to take additional fire damage. So that is 1 action. You get 2 actions. What is your other action pitch?
I am going to, again, no iron team, but I believe there are several in. Fuck it, use acid spray. I whip the lid
Awesome.
off the acid and fling outward.
You are literally volatilizing acid in an
Yep.
enclosed chamber.
Yep. Everybody's
That is
dead.
also going to be a
Ian?
blast.
Yeah, everybody's dead,
Ian?
and that's awesome.
No, I was just letting you know.
I will let you know
That's awesome.
that we have needed a explosive self-immolating
Yes.
maid in this party for years.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
about damn time.
Yeah.
It's about
Exactly.
Okay,
It's about damn time.
No
In a
time.
minute, I'm going to cast fireball and kill everyone in the room.
I can safely say I did not see where this was going to end. So roll me damage pitch.
I will happily roll damage. Now, the good
I
news
know-
is that doesn't do quite as much damage until it, chemical
But
reactions cause
it's until removed. So it does D4 damage until you remove the acid, and it's caustic liquids that burns through materials.
Yeah, so that's 7. So I rolled a 3, which means on top of the fire, we're doing 7 damage around, baby.
Yep, that does it for
All right,
me.
I
I'm
got to do
dead.
that
Yep.
helper. Okay, so
I'm still alive.
okay, so so I need you to make your strength check. So I'm assuming everyone is now taking critical damage.
I'm
Roll me
fine.
your strength checks.
No.
Oh, find out how I do on
I failed.
this.
I failed that.
Holy shit! Did I actually
Okay,
pass that?
so
Hang on a second.
what's real bad?
I passed my
um,
strength check.
Okay, well that's great because you see
Must be
that
nice.
Alter is slumped over, incapacitated, and his flesh is both burning off and melting off. And you see the frog priest is desperately trying with all of his burning limbs, trying to scoop him off the ground. All right, so that is your turn.
I wish I could have done
Pitch.
more.
So, Riddle, you have been covered in fire, and now you're covered in acid.
Mhm.
You might be blinded. You are holding together by a thread. What do you do?
Well, I gotta be real with you, man. I think we're all dead, and I think this feels like a natural stopping point. Since we're
I was
almost at
hoping that you could at
time.
least crawl half of a room away, like saying, like, I don't know, Rosebud, as you like burble into them. I don't know.
No, I'm gonna
Giving you
spend
an
my.
opportunity
I'm
for your
gonna-
dying breath to curse Zoidberg. I mean,
Yeah,
Not
no.
like
I'm gonna
this.
use my dying breath to emit the most high pitched shriek. It's so high pitched that only the Count's bats can hear it as I am
Wow.
burned to a crisp. Yeah.
so
I like it.
the last thing that you see before you die is just the 3 weeping eyes of the frog priest just desperately trying to salvage Alter and put him on the frog altar as all the frogs that make it up are screaming as they pop one by one, bursting like heated grapes. And that is your last thing that you see before you are blinded and then die of acid and fire inhalation.
Awesome.
So another mission failed successfully? Question mark.
Hell yeah.
The
I
end,
consider
question
I
mark?
consider a TPK a successful evening.
Did I die though? I mean, they're gonna put me back together.
That's not the question. The question
No,
is, did you
everyone's
truly live?
everyone's going to die in that room. You've managed to solve one real bad problem without knowing what the problem exactly was. So great.
Yeah.
I feel positive about what has happened here.
Yeah, I think we.
I
learned
mean,
a lot.
I'd be
Yeah.
tempted to call the frog cult like, oh, they were so peaceful, they disassembled the sniper rifle. But there's like dead, crunched up folks all over town. So
I
I
like to
can't-
think under God now.
maybe, yeah, I don't know.
Now you'll never know why or how as well.
Yeah.
And
we do
love
love
And
it.
you never got to the cannibalism.
And love.
You've let
I
you have
eat
let
one of the
down
frogs
poor
as I
Pom
die.
Pom.
I eat one of the frogs as I die. There you go.
But
There
is
you
that
go.
was that cannibalism yet? Are you frog enough? For it to
Yes, I
count?
am.
Okay.
That was my dark secret.
Ooh, secret.
Oh, are
frog
you one of the
place.
frog people?
I was all so long as there are no follow-up questions and you don't look at my character sheet, then yes.
Okay.
The whole time.
Yeah.
We were actually all secretly frog people.
John, Pom the Poem has rated you just as a 2 out of 5 on the cannibalism scale.
Oh,
That's
not even half
that's-
a cannibal.
John, I'm gonna have to
Pom-
deduct
Pom-
a point.
Paul, I want you to know. I want you to know that I have the flu right now, and unfortunately, human meat
can't
causes a
taste
phlegm
this.
buildup, and so I'm going light on the cannibalism just so I can like expectorate.
So
Well,
you're trying not to get a frog in your throat?
I will
Oh.
fucking hey. After I'm done throwing acid in Charles's face, I'm flying to Indiana.
Ian,
Good luck getting that through TSA, bitch.
Ian, that's another point for you, giving you the score of 27 for tonight.
Oh, he wins
Wow.
again.
Charles Bernard, you have a score of 4.
That's
Bridget,
That's not bad.
only 2. I'm sorry. John,
Yeah.
you're at -1 tonight, buddy.
You know
Okay.
what? It's okay. I understand.
I
for
literally
people-
thought his next words were gonna be "You're fired." I thought
Oh
the joke
no,
was,
no.
You know what? Out of here.
You know
So
what?
for people,
Built this kingdom from ash and bone. Take this bullshit from y'all.
You know what?
you
You know what? You're
return it
right.
to ash and
That's 4
bone.
points for you. Okay.
I built
for
this kingdom
people-
from ash and bone is actually one of the more badass things I've ever heard you say, John.
Yeah, it really is. So for people who are curious at purchasing a copy of Liminal Horror, this is the introductory module. It's in the back, and it's written in a way that gives you lots of different setup for different clues and hooks and timelines, and like a doom clock, NPCs, and other things. So no 2 games are the same. It allows you to take the things that you know about your party from page 11, getting to know your character and the party, and building a campaign around them and the unique strengths and talents that they have. And there's a lot of really great third-party content, including one of the other adventures that I'd love to run at some point at a con, which is a museum of like dream art. That is really something pretty neat.
There is also a liminal kaiju expansion on itch that I picked up just yesterday, I think. So
For how
lots of
much?
really cool shit. It is a pay what you will with a suggested price of $3. I recommend if you decide you're going to add a couple bucks on top of that just to like show your support, maybe you look at how much you've added and you made sure you've changed the price to $5 instead of just added a 5 on the end, turning it into $35. But you know what?
John's
It's
a
also kind
generous
of cool.
soul.
It is all just kind of cool to support indie creators, so I'm not mad.
It is.
I picked up my copy of Liminal Horror on Exalted Funeral, where I got the book and a couple of third party, or maybe not third party, but a couple of expansion zines at the same time.
I'm proud of you.
And I encourage you to do the same. So
Gonna say
news. We have some news. I think we have some important news. Last night, the
It's in
Godless
the
Awards.
document in the
What?
Oh, I there's news preloaded for you in the document in the shared drive, but that's
Oh,
cool.
thank you. So last night, I will pull that up as I say this. Last night was the annual Godless 666 Awards.
Yep.
An award show specifically for indie horror that kind of lends itself to the extreme and splatterpunk scene, but isn't necessarily only that. And wouldn't you know it, Abhorrent Faith by John Baldisberger took home the bronze medal for best novella. I'm very proud of that, and I'm very happy. It was pretty fantastic.
Congrats, man.
And thank you, and a huge honor. If you were interested in checking out Abhorrent Faith, which is a book I wrote in response to someone trying to burn down my synagogue, a very angry book. It's on Amazon and on Godless. Now, Confirmed Sighting is out on ebook and paperback. Which is that your book or is that an anthology you're in, Bridget?
It's a cryptid triptych, 3 novellas in one.
Cool.
edition, so.
Awesome. So go get Bridget's novella, which is inside Confirmed Sighting. Go do that now. That way, when you get it now, you can take it with you when you go and visit Bridget at StokerCon and get her to sign it, which would be a good use of your time and your money. One thing that's exciting is Charles Bernard, you have a blog, saltcitycenter.com. And through, I think,
saltcitycenter.blogspot.com.
blogspot.com.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think first of all, people can find all of your books and all your writings on there and follow kind of your misadventures. But also through your affiliate program with Amazon, you offer not only truck nuts, but anal cat covers, the little jewels that you hang over a cat's
Oh.
tail to cover their anus,
Yeah.
uh, which is
I
pretty
didn't know there
amazing.
was such a thing, and that's really something else.
Um, we
I
have now this is fun. I've spent a big chunk of the day sending out Madness Heart Press orders for some of our new books, including Everyone Dies Famous in a Small Town by Wrath James White, Beautiful Darkness by Jay Wilburn. I sent out some copies of Odd Gobs, Whispers of the Dead Saint. And I will also say we have two books. Okay. I believe we have two books coming this month. We definitely have Mr. Charles Bernard's new novel. He led us into the wilderness and spoke to us, which
Nailed it.
is a true crime / historical book about Jonestown and that cult mixed with cosmic horror. And if that doesn't get you off, like, I'm not sure Madness Art Press is the press for you.
I'm going to buy that. Where can I buy that? So you get the most dollars.
I don't know where I get the most dollars, but buy it through madnessart.press because that's where I would recommend. And what John means by historical, etc. I did a lot of research for this book to capture what very well might have been one person's story, and in at least one person's case, the bare bones of the case were actually their story. And then I just sort of did the novelization thing, added in characterization, some stuff like that. So it's based on 100% real events, except for the cosmic horror elements, which were regrettably absent from the. I say regrettably because what happened was totally a human thing and not something perpetuated
We
by.
can blame on the outside.
Exactly, which is in its way much more terrible. But yeah, so that comes out on the 28th. Pick it up. He led us into the wilderness and spoke to us about Jonestown, and it's by me, Charles R. Bernard.
Yep. And we'll also probably be dropping a reprint from Edward Lee. It's called The Backwoods. What I will say about The Backwoods is it is really, really horny. If you want Ed Lee at his,
so are the backwoods.
When I was getting ready to, like, when he sent me like, hey, you could publish this, I was like, let me read the reviews of it. Ed Lee is an author that gets a widespread of reviews from 5-star to 1-star, but every review was like, this one's real horny, y'all. One of the reviews awesome. Stated, I think this book's a new record for the number of times someone has written the word nipple. So that's what you got to look forward to, my friends. That's the majority of what we have going on. I will be at the Denver Comic Con at the end of the month, but I'm going to talk about that later. Next week, Bridget at Stoker, get her new book. I'll have the pre-order for Charles's new book up in the next couple of days, so pre-order that. And it has one of my favorite covers. Charles and I went back and forth on it a lot. Tempers got heated, shirts came off, then we made out, and we made a really cool cover.
Tempers heard all that got heated. And if you look at the pinned tweet on my Twitter account at CR Bernard, I worked with Simone, one of our in-house artists, to do a cover that's based on the actual cover from the People Temples Choir's 1973 LP, He's Able. And what we pulled off did, I think, a really great job of capturing how unintentionally in 1973 creepy and foreboding that album cover was. So, yeah.
So, with all that said, the other thing you need to do is follow us on Twitter. That's at onemoncast.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, but I will say our Twitter feed, Charles manages that, and it is like chock full of cool shit and cool gaming news. You should also go over to bogwizard.bigcartel.com. Link will be in the show notes for that, where you can pick up the album Purple Miasmic Smoke.
Hell yeah.
Purple Miasmic Fog. I am very
I think
sick.
it's Purple Miasmic Smoke.
I think it is. Our theme song, Barbaria, is off that album, and it slaps, which is why we use it as a theme song, and they are nice guys. Yes,
Can't do an and. They are, because this is Pride Month. Happy Pride, y'all. They are doing a fundraiser where you can support the Trevor Project by buying an exclusive rainbow logo version of the Bog Wizard shirt, which is really cool. And also they're playing a show in Michigan, if you are a Michiganian. This
Michigander.
weekend.
Michigonian?
Michigander.
With all this said,
good. I'm supporting Pride, y'all.
With all this said, friends, thank you for joining us on this consensual journey we call Wandering Monster. My name is John Baldisberger.
I am Charles R. Bernard.
I'm Bridget Brave.
Ian Servas.
I've been just a traveler here on the vast scope of the internet, just trying to say that my real name is Mr. Paschke.
Friends, we will return next week, and when we do, the frogs will pass judgment.
Burp.
Out of the frozen north, a man emerges. A man of a barbaric age, whose merciless savagery